Well, listen, we are still joined by financial planner Grant van Zyl. We're talking about the importance of having a financial planner.
So right about now, we're chatting all things finance and in particular partnering with the right professional when investing and looking after your money. And that's why we have our friend, our CFP, Grant van Zyl, in the house to talk to us about that. And earlier on, you mentioned a very important thing that once you've done your research, right, and you've found the company where this financial planner works at or the potential financial planners work at that you want to collaborate with or partner with, you now need to sit and interview them. So what kind of questions should you be asking your financial planner?
Yeah, so I think a good starting question would be to ask them to give you their disclosure document. On the disclosure document, it's going to give you a number of things that are quite important regarding financial planning. So the first thing will give you an indication of what companies they license to work with or what service providers they can offer you. What this does is it shows that they aren't biased to a specific company and they're not selling products to a specific company. So they can give you holistic advice across the whole spectrum. The disclosure document also gives you their licensing number, their FSP licensing number, which is obviously really important. I mean, you don't want to go to a doctor if he's not licensed to be a doctor. So the same thing with a certified financial planner. And I think a very important question, which I think a lot of people miss, is succession planning. If something happens to the financial planner, what's going to happen to you? How does that impact you? So that's a very important thing to ask the guy. If he had to be moved away, if a car or bus had to hit him, what would happen to your portfolio at that specific stage?
Yeah, and I guess also very important to get a sense of the person you're talking to. You know, are they personable? Can you share intimate details with them? Because you might have something that's happening at home that is affecting the way that you think financially, right? So ask these kind of questions.
Yeah, totally. And part of that is to see if you can have that relationship with him. So if you can't address the elephants in the room comfortably, then it's going to be very difficult to go forward with a relationship with that specific person.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the charges and the costs, because obviously that's part of the deal. They're providing a service to you, so you need to pay for that service. But what kind of charges and costs are we looking at here?
So I think a really good question, actually, prior to your first question, is what sort of remuneration do these guys look at taking? Are they commission-based? Or are they moving more towards the fee-based sort of advice model? Because the fee-based advice model it acts very much within the client's best interest.
That's what the industry is moving to right now.
Yeah, so there's regulation that's pushing it towards that, but it's very far off from it. But you'll find that a lot of the top certified financial planners are already implementing fee-based models within their practice because it's obviously within the best interest for the client, and obviously you're getting paid for what you're doing and not being seen as the same old person in the street as the other financial planners taking advantage.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for that. We're going to be returning to talk to Grant van Zyl a little bit later on when we ask just for some last words of advice. But of course, I think just like we've been talking about, right, it's talking about right now, it is important not just to settle on the first person who comes along. Make sure that you do find that financial professional who is focused on your personal needs. And yes, like I said, Grant will be back later on.